Hola! It is very important to be in awareness and understanding of the grand solar minimum and the coming mini ice age. We were sold the global warming hoax and it has been inserted into human consciousness for decades. The fact is that have all chosen to incarnate at this amazing time when universal energy is exponentially speeding up. Sri Aurobindo and the Mother have anchored truth consciousness in matter, and because of this, humanity is now ready for the transformation to occur. However, we need the critical mass of conscious individuals doing the necessary individual work. We're now living another grand solar minimum. I personally believe that this particular cycle that we have chosen to experience is the last cycle. All traditional structures are shifting and changing on planet Earth. And COVID-19, in my opinion, has been designed to be the end game. In this video, I will talk about the dire food shortages and starvation facing the world, as prices for pantry staples surge and tens of millions remain unemployed and financially insecure. The blame is placed on the pandemic. Making a virus the enemy is the perfect way out for the authorities because they will not have to explain why the grand solar minimum has been hidden from humanity. Hola, from Cascada Cafe Retiro in Popayan, Colombia. With the present great world confusion, I wish to do my part to accelerate the evolution of human consciousness. Please help by subscribing and sharing these videos. Thank you. At the grocery stores, you have noticed that the price tags for some of your purchases are significantly higher than usual. Experts have been warning for months that the empty shelves and rising food costs we started to see earlier this year would only get worse. And now, those predictions are rapidly unfolding. Unfortunately, we have seen nothing yet. In my two previous videos on China, I showed the pictures and described the flood which continues to intensify to this day. There will be at least 80% food production loss for China this year. China will have to buy from other countries, but the weather also severely affected the US and Canada last year, and Australia with severe droughts. Australia can no longer export to China. Where is China going to find food for its 1.4 billion population? We must not assume that the weather will be good this year for North America because we have already entered the grand solar minimum and its effects all over the world will continue for at least the next 10 years. With the pandemic, food production facilities faltered and the shattered supply chain simply could not keep up with the spike in demand. Many plants were forced to shut down their operations for weeks or even months at a time as the health crisis affected large swaths of their workers. Many households across the US, and I'm sure it is similar across the world, have been increasingly dependent on food banks in order to make ends meet. In the US, 12.1% of adults said they had collected charitable groceries, whether from a food pantry or in the form of a free meal in the last 30 days. The latest data represents 46% spike in food insecurity in the US right now. There is absolutely no evidence that this will get better in the near future, and the facts point to the probability of this becoming much, much worse by 2022. The second wave of layoffs and furloughs is well underway, but this information is not showing up in mainstream data. When looking at other parts of the world, North America has not yet been hit by the locust invasion. Swarms of up to 80 million locusts are decimating crops in Africa, and now they have moved into China. They are threatening food security for billions, not just millions of people. The locusts have now invaded at least 3 continents, destroying everything the floods have not yet destroyed. As global food supply chains continue to rupture, now is the time to stock up on essential items before prices only drive even further upwards. However, Stocking up will simply not be enough because this problem will persist and intensify for years. One must, at the very least, start a garden in order to grow fresh food you need and preserve the food that can last over the winter, which unfortunately will become longer in duration throughout this grand solar minimum. Unfortunately, tens of millions, even billions all over the world no longer have the funds to prepare, stock up, and start gardens. There is no longer money to be seen, not through employment and not through federal assistance. The fact is, there is nowhere to hide. However, some places are going to be less affected with climate extremes, and this is the reason why I feel I was guided by my soul to leave Canada and settle here in Colombia. I hope you will find the way to join me on this very lonely yet very amazing journey. Please go into action now and make the choice between listening to ego, mendacious mind, and the external authorities, or listening to your soul, the internal authority. I was blessed with time and created this new life outside of the totalitarian control system, and now I wish to be part of creating self-sustainable small communities. Please contact me. My contact information is below. The coronavirus pandemic is a psychological force that's being used to enslave humanity completely at every possible level through technocracy. There is no government solution. We must first remember who we are, and then understand what we're doing here on Earth, specifically right now. Assistance with farmland purchases in Colombia and Ecuador. Spanish lessons. Long-term stay at a Colombian farm, 130 USD per week, 470 USD per month. Truth Consciousness Workshop at Cascada Cafe Retiro in English, Spanish, and French. Dental treatment of high quality and migraine treatment with NTI dental appliance. Infinite love.